I'm back. Yes, I'm back. At least for this week, anyway. Did you really think I'd forget how to do this? Yeah, I probably do. I probably have forgotten how I do this. Hang on, let me make sure I'm muted there. Yes, I am. But yes, it is I, your boy, SaleenDriver, me, doing once again what I was born to do. I guess I was born to talk anyway, but yes, it is episode 95 of Wednesday Afternoon Live with me, SaleenDriver. The YouTube show about nothing in particular. Good afternoon, Miss Battle Angel. Good to see you here. Yes, I've been away a long time. My last Wednesday afternoon live stream was March 16th. I did one live stream between then and now, but that was on another day. This is still YouTube's longest running Wednesday afternoon live stream that I can find anyway. But it's good to be back. I am very sorry that I was gone for so long. I I don't know if I'll be able to continue to do this week in and week out. The reason is because my dad is under care of a wound specialist, much like BVD. A little bit different circumstances, but close. He has a wound clinic and he has an office. Now, the wound clinic is a cleaner and better environment. The office is a better environment than the clinic. Unfortunately, the doctor only holds office hours on Wednesdays and Fridays. And Wednesdays is a better day for my folks. So that's why my Wednesday afternoon live streams have gone away, is because I'm with him. I'm there to help take care of him. I'm there to get him in and out of various spots. And starting probably next week, I'm going to be transport. Right now he's using medical transport services, but he's progressed now to the point where he can get up and down a small flight of stairs, and he can get in and out of a car with some difficulty. But he's getting better. I mean, I just was over at his house just now, and we were walking together. He's on a walker, and I'm there to help balance him when he needs it. But he is beginning to walk again. He is beginning to show improvement. So that's good going forward. Hopefully that continues. But this week, there's no medical appointment, so I get to be here with you, my friends. Like VicTube was in here. I don't know if he's still in here, but he was asking if this is for real. This is for real. Battle Angel's here, of course. Colby is here. I have been watching the playoffs a little bit. I've been watching my Bruins suck, and I've been watching the Tampa Bay Lightning, who I have some interest in considering where I live. They're not doing so good either. But I have a better feeling that the Lightning could pull off the win in the series against the Toronto Maple Leafs. I have no confidence in the Bruins. They are not looking like a very good hockey team right now. Alan A is here. The retirement home thing is getting thin, sir. So that's all I'm going to say about the retirement home thing, but it's wearing thin. Mayhem Matthew is here. He's checking in. Yes, it is great news, BA. That is true. Let's see. And the retirement home might take away my Jello privileges. That won't upset me. Anyway, just to let Battle Angel know, her idea for a video that she had recently is already made and uploaded. So look for that next week, Battle Angel. You asked for that subject, and SaleenDriver delivers. SaleenDriver does deliver. Anyway, let's see. It's not surprising to me that only 6 people are in here right now. Probably everyone has forgotten about me and doesn't think I'm ever going to do live streams ever again. So I guess I can't be upset about that. What does my shirt say? It is definitions of automotive terms. Understeer. Let's see if I can point with the right hand here. Understeer. What understeer translated as the front of the car hits the wall. Oversteer, the rear of the car hits the wall. Horsepower measures how fast the car hits the wall, and torque is how far the car pushes the wall. So I forgot where I got this shirt, but I really like it. And it was a toss-up between this shirt and something political. And Alan A is pushing my buttons, I'm telling you. Let's see. Mayhem Matthew wants to know, what is my most expensive watch? Let me think about that for a minute. That would probably be... let me think here. It would probably be my Ulysses Nardine Sonata. Yes, it's actually called a Sonata. Or my Ulysses Nardine 160 anniversary watch. Those two are pretty up there in terms of price, in terms of materials used to make them, functionality. They're both gorgeous watches. I've reviewed both of them on my channel. If you'd like to search them out, go take a look. I definitely encourage it. See, some things never change. Still have my Callaway Blue Water. Love that stuff. And I do have many battles. As a matter of fact, oh, wait a minute. It's actually sitting right here next to me. I did a video on this if you'd like to look it up, but this watch in particular, it may not be the most expensive watch I own, but this watch is one of the rarest I own. There are only 5 of these examples in the whole world, and I've been chasing one of these for about 2.5 years, and I finally landed one. It's from my favorite brand called Zelos, Zelos. It's from their ZX line, and it's a full skeleton chronograph, as you can see. They only made 5 of these. They didn't even put them on the website. They just kind of stealthily offered them, and I chased that one for about 5 years. I'm sorry, about 2.5 years. And finally made that purchase recently. I wish you had been here when I took delivery of it, BA. You really would have liked that. Alan A says Crimson Brave is worse. That may be true, Alan A, but I have Crimson A on my block list, so I can't see when he posts things, which is to both our advantages. I don't have to put up with his bullshit, and he doesn't have to put up with me putting him in timeout every 10 seconds. Let's see. Colby says, if you ever decide to get rid of the purple Tokyo Midnight, let me know. I will keep that in mind, sir. It does come to pass that I do try to thin my collection every once in a while. And quite honestly, that Tokyo Midnight watch is not one I'm wearing very often. And, I might let that go. So I'll contact you if I decide to. It's in great shape. I hardly ever wore it. It's over there. BA saw it. She liked it. Go figure. Battle Angel likes a purple watch. Who would have thunk it, right? Let's see. Do I have a Rolex? I had 4. I traded one. Well, actually, more correctly, I gave it to my dad. I gave it back to my dad so he could trade it for a different watch. But I have 3 Rolex right now. They're beautiful watches. The one of them is the first watch my dad ever gave me, which was a Rolex GMT Master 2 with a Coke bezel. Again, all these watches are on my channel, all the videos for them. I have a Sea Dweller Deep Sea, and I have a Submariner, which was the second watch my dad ever gave me. Beautiful watches. Submariner I'm a little afraid of to wear because getting that thing scratched could be catastrophic. Well, I am going to drop the link because why not? Now, don't forget to click the thumbs up button, guys and gals. Yeah, dude. Sometimes Battle Angel, I'm kind of overwhelmed by all the watches too. And I see them every day. In fact, I'm wearing one right now. It's a Breitling. Breitling has become my new favorite brand that is not named Zelos. So I've accumulated quite a number of Breitlings recently, and I love Breitling. It's fantastic higher end watch, and they just have such a different variety of looks. Thank you, Battle Angel. I appreciate that. So I am a big fan of Breitling. Yeah, okay, Colby, that's no problem. I'm gonna try and go until 5. But if this phone rings, all bets are off. That's why I would like 1 or 2 people in the StreamYard at some point, because that way, if I have to jump out of here, they could keep the stream going until I got back. But we'll see how long, and that's why I started at 2:30 instead of 3, because I just got back from my folks' house. So I figured I'd be able to stay on here longer that way before I maybe get called back. You never know. But the link's in the chat if anybody wants to come on. All I ask is that you turn your camera on so I know that you're you instead of some fat naked slob sitting in mom's basement trying to get me kicked off of YouTube. And no, I'm not talking about anybody in particular. But I miss this. I miss, even if there was nobody in here and I was just sitting here talking to the camera, making a stream that people could view later. I miss this. I really enjoyed doing the live streams. It started out as something to do during the Fauci flu, the chopstick sick. And I appreciate that, BA. You know who I haven't seen around in a while? I was just thinking of that as I was bringing the software up to go live. I haven't seen Tiger Cat in a while. I hope she's doing all right. I figure, maybe she's taken the Florida life to heart and really got into the relaxing end of things. And I hope she's doing okay. I guess if you guys had done the what does Lou call it? He calls it the Ho Show. Oh, she's good. Okay, I'm glad. Yeah, she hasn't. I haven't seen her in around, so hopefully I get to see her next time the Boss Babes goes live. Hopefully I'll be around for that, because that's a good show. Oh, look. my video performance will improve. A couple of these windows just closed up on me. Are you going live at 6 today? Yeah, I won't be here. I'll be over there. I'll be having dinner, and I'll be doing all the evening shift stuff that I have to do. So this is my life, you know. I mean, I'm not complaining about it. I mean, you know, this falls under the, like I was talking to my rabbi about this the other day, and you know, this is what falls under the fifth commandment. You know, honor thy mother and thy father. All this that is happening falls under that. So how can I do anything else? The kids are good. You know, actually, one of my daughters is upstairs right now. I can hear her thumping around up there. She'll be heading back to USF in a couple of days. Hey, good afternoon there, Mr. Vic. Good to see you, my friend. She's going to be heading back to USF to do summer classes. She is going to be a senior. Hey, Watch 62 is here. I am doing well, sir. Thank you for asking. Yeah, my little girl, my younger daughter, is going to be a senior in college. And actually, I'm going to look at my calendar here. In about 12 days, she's turning 21. So she'll officially be allowed to drink. Oh, God. My younger daughter drunk. That can't be good. That can't be good at all. But my older daughter is wrapping up her first year as a teacher. That comes to an end in about, what did she say? About May 27th is the last day of school for this county, Sarasota County. I should stop being so tentative about saying my city's name. I live in Sarasota, Florida. I think that is probably the worst kept secret by now. Yeah, I remember you showing us pictures of that, BA. That was funny. You know, I live in Sarasota, Florida. You know, so I think that's the worst kept secret in this whole group right now. Everyone has a general idea of what city I'm in. Probably not that hard to find either. So, yeah. But school's out May 27th, and then now in Florida, teachers can opt to either get paid during the school year, and they get more money per pay period, but they don't get paid in the summer. Or they can choose to get paid less each pay period, but they get paid all year, including the summer break. So, so my daughter opted for the option B. So she's going to spend the summer. She's going to be trying to look for a place to live. She's going to be getting ready for the next year, and she's going to relax, which is good. So my daughters are they're living their lives, and that's a good thing. Wait a minute. BA got her son drunk at Hooters? I didn't know that. I remember she got him drunk on her 21st birthday, but I missed the part about Hooters. Oh, finally some people showed up. Jesus. Thought I was going to have to carry the show all by myself. Hang on. Kobe. Vic!
Hey, what's up, Saleen?
Hey, what's up?
Oh, thank God somebody else on here besides me trying to carry the damn show.
I'm not echoing, am I?
Yeah.
Nope, not from my end.
Right. Yeah,
Okay.
I've been waiting to bring the show back.
Oh, well, you know, It's only been 2 months.
Oh, only 2 months. Okay.
Yeah, last Wednesday afternoon show I did was March 16th.
Oh.
Hang on a minute. What? Where you going? Hang on a minute. Be right back.
Hey, so how you doing?
What?
What's up, Vic? Been all right?
Yeah.
She's going to boyfriend.
That's good, man. That's good.
If you had one.
I don't want a girlfriend. Girls are too much
I didn't
trouble.
hear a laugh from the audience. I just landed a fucking joke.
They may not be able to hear you. She's going to go hang out with her boyfriend. My
You'd be
younger
going for
daughter.
girlfriends too if you had one.
Ooh, boyfriend.
Joke
Hope he's
landed.
Republican.
Yes, don't landed that time. Now
Love you,
GTFO.
The only person you need to like is me.
No. No. Anyway.
Now, hold on. Now, hold on. Is
No
is,
respect.
is the boyfriend Republican?
Oh my God.
Probably not. No.
Oh boy.
But he is respectful.
Well, that's all that matters.
Good.
So,
What?
Saleen,
Wait a minute. They asked if he was Republican.
Oh my God.
He leans conservative.
It
He
wasn't.
leans conservative. And
He
he wait.
leans conservative and goes to a very liberal school.
Yeah, he goes.
okay, all right.
He just graduated from Ringling College of Art and Design.
Oh, that's a good one.
Ow. Hey. Damn. Elderly abuse. Somebody call the cops.
I'm on it.
Wait, I wanted to ask you about what you think
Have fun. What?
about Elon Musk buying Twitter.
Oh, I'm thrilled. I'm thrilled to death. Hang on a minute. Yes, Baylor Man, Celine's back. And yes, Battle Angel, I know she speaks facts. I'm just too much of it.
Okay.
I'm too selfish with my time right now. Elon Musk buying Twitter. I'm happy. I'm reserving full judgment until I see what he actually does. I did read a blurb from let's see, it's Daily Wire and Newsmax, both reporting that Musk is going to reinstate Trump's Twitter account the second it's over. So, was that a sneeze?
Bless you.
Was that a sneeze?
I don't know what that was.
Well, it was a sneeze. God bless you. So, yeah, I guess he's going to reinstate Trump on the Twitter, but I don't know if Trump will actually use Twitter again. But that's not. I mean, I could say the pithy things about considering the number of people on the left who are screaming and yelling and crying and making TikTok videos about how the world's coming to an end. If they're doing that, then anything that causes them to do that is a good thing. I mean, that's the pithy answer, but the answer for me is, okay, Elon Musk bought Twitter. Great. Let's see what he does with it. And then for me, it's a wait and see. But anything that
Yeah.
changes the social media dynamic from censorship to, free speech, which is what they purported to be all along, that can't be a bad thing. If he wants to prove to me and other conservatives that he's serious, two things. And he's already said he's going to do one of them. The first thing he does is reinstate Trump and all the other conservative accounts that got shut down during the great Twitter purge. That's step one. Two, God bless you. Step two is he makes public all the algorithms that Twitter was using to censor and shut down and squash conservative voices. Or maybe not just conservative voices, but all voices that deviated from orthodoxy.
Right. Okay.
Well, I'll ask you this: How
Do
come?
those
How
two
come?
things, and I'll believe, and I'll start to believe.
Okay, so how come the voices that you just mentioned are being banned, but the Taliban has Twitter accounts and they aren't banned? Isn't that kind of weird?
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense to me either.
Yeah, I found it very interesting that Trump, to use one example, Trump was banned permanently. Charlie Kirk has been shut down. Babylon B's been shut down. Dennis Prager, if you know who he is, has been shut down. Limbaugh, when he was alive, was censored heavily. Sean Hannity, Glenn Beck.
Hannity got banned?
Well, he got censored. He didn't get shut down.
Oh.
Hugh Hewitt has been shut down. Prager University's been banned from Twitter when all they're doing is trying to tell history. All those people that I named have either been shut down or shadow banned or censored or otherwise messed with. And yet, for instance, the Taliban still has a Twitter account that's active. The Ayatollah Khamenei,
What's that?
the leader of the Iranian, the head of the Iranian religious order, he's a de facto head of the country. Who else? Putin still has a Twitter account.
Yeah. Well, I heard you mention the Daily Wire a few minutes ago. Do you know who the comment section is?
Pardon?
Do you know who Brett is with the Daily Wire?
Brett, no. In the comments
It's a girl.
section, I'm not on the Daily Wire very much. I get headlines from them occasionally.
Okay. Well, if in your spare time, write this down too. I know you'll love it. It's called. Well, she is called Brett, but her channel name is the comment section, and she's affiliated with the Daily Wire. I think you would get a kick out of her. She's super smart and funny at the same time.
Okay.
What's up, Saleen?
What's up, Nate? How you doing, man?
Pretty good.
Now, I think this whole thing with Twitter, it needed to happen. I'm glad it's happened. Twitter needs to be shaken up. The same thing needs to happen to YouTube. The same thing needs to happen to Facebook. The same thing needs to happen to Insta, and all the social media platforms need to. Thank you. Need to,
Bless you.
stop censoring literally half the country. Let the voices speak. I'll give you a good example. That's personal to me. And I'd say the vast majority of everyone here is probably too young to remember this. But if you're of a mind to do so, go look up Skokie, Illinois Nazi. Okay, just Google it. Okay, decades ago, there was a big Supreme Court case because a group of neo-Nazis, wanted to march in Skokie, Illinois. I think it was Illinois, or is it Indiana? I can never keep that straight. That town is predominantly Jewish, or at the time it was, and they were not given a permit to march. And they sued in court under the Constitution, the right to assemble, freedom of speech, right to peaceably assemble, etc. First Amendment.
What year was this? Sorry to interrupt you. What year was this?
This is back in the 70s.
Okay.
Okay.
Like I said, I'm probably the only one on here that remembers this.
Anyway.
Anyway, now I'm a Jewish person. I am a Jewish man. At the time, I was a little Jewish boy. And I remember asking my dad and my grandfather, his father, my papa, we were watching this on the news, and I looked at I looked at the TV, and I said, "How can this happen? How can this be allowed to happen? They hate Jewish people. Why are they being allowed to march through a Jewish city?" And my papa, who was a World War II veteran, looks at me and he says, "Because the rule of law is paramount and must be upheld, and free speech must be upheld, even if it's speech that we find repulsive."
Okay.
In
So
fact, and my father piped in and he said, "In fact, speech that we find repulsive is the most important speech that we have to protect, because we'd rather have those people out in the open and we know who they are and they can speak freely so that we know who they are,
I let them.
rather than repress them and throw them back into the shadows, where we can't see them.
Right.
Like sunlight is the best disinfectant, that kind of thing. So
Good point. Good point.
So we should to let them out themselves.
yes, exactly. It's better to let hateful people or people that you don't agree with speak, so that you know what they really think and feel and believe, rather than cast them into the shadows where you can't hear them, you can't see them, and you can't learn about what they believe. Because then all of a sudden you've got a problem when something bad happens, and you say, like, "I didn't know that people thought like that." Well, if you repressed a certain group of people enough, they don't react well in the end. Sunlight is the best disinfectant. I've always believed that ever since then. It's part of my libertarian streak. I don't particularly like neo-Nazis, but they have a right to speak, and I have a right to speak out against them.
Yep, that's
I
right.
don't particularly like leftists like Pelosi or Schumer or or Sanders or Ayach or any of her squad. I think they're all lunatics. I think they're all wrong. I think they're all bad for the country. But I will fight to the death their right to speak.
Mm-hmm.
I imagine you're a big DeSanto? Is that the
DeSantis.
Florida DeSantis? Thank you.
I am a big
Yeah,
DeSantis fan. Yes.
yes. I would. I'm rooting for him. Let's just say that.
I am a big DeSantis fan. I think DeSantis is a once in a generation leader.
Well, I'll tell you what. Right now, he'll stand up and talk back to whatever person comes at him, and he stands for what he believes in. I'll tell you that right now.
I mean, he's the first governor in my lifetime to stand up and clap back against Disney.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I mean,
so anyway, so now thus
I'm sorry, what?
thus into yes. So about I wanted to get your thoughts on Florida House Bill 1557, aka the Don't Say Gay, aka the
Oh, you mean the parental rights law?
rights of whatever it's called.
Okay, for one thing, it's not a bill anymore; it's law.
Well, I know.
The funny part is the "Don't Say Gay" thing is made up. You literally can read the text of the law. The word "gay" doesn't appear anywhere in the law.
Okay.
All that law does is secure parental rights. And the part that they're talking about says we shouldn't be talking about sex issues, heterosexual, homosexual, or any of the stuff in between, to kids kindergarten through third grade, which is basically, toddlers all the way through about age. Let's see, my kid teaches third grade. She has
About 8 years old.
8, 9-year-olds.
7, 8.
One kid is 10. So 8, 9, 10-year-olds. Let's not talk sexual subjects to elementary school students that are 10 years old and under.
Right.
I don't understand. And you know what? I understand that this is a third rail type of issue, and this is an issue that gets a lot of people really heated up, and that's fine. I understand that. But I don't understand why a certain segment of the population wants to talk about sex. I don't care about what kind of sex in general, to 10-year-olds.
Okay.
That to me, and 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10-year-olds. That to me is sick. Okay, that just is across the board sickness. If I walked in, if I walked into my daughter's classroom right now
Mhm.
and said and got up in front of the classroom and said, "Okay, kids, let's talk about penises and vaginas," I'd get arrested.
Yeah. Yeah, please.
I'd be arrested.
Yes.
There are certain, in my opinion, and if somebody else wants to believe differently, lazim late, God bless them. They can believe that, but I just can't understand the thought process that says let's talk sex subjects to kindergarten through third grade.
But our
That's
are teachers really doing that?
That's
I don't know. There are I've seen videos all over the internet of kindergarten teachers crying into their little TikTok video machines about how they can't talk about their personal life, their
Okay.
sex life. They're a male teacher and they can't talk about their husband, or they're a female teacher, they can't talk about their wife or whatever. There's a video out there right now of the San Francisco Gay Choir singing a song about "We're coming for your children." I mean, it's out there. It's really kind of
that's
Yeah.
insulting.
Yeah, that's just it.
I don't know
Well,
about-
I'll tell you. I'll tell you my opinion real quick. I think kindergarten through third grade. Yeah, I think that's a little bit young. Yeah. I kind of. I don't really. I don't want to say I don't believe in that, but I think that's a little bit too young to be even mentioning that kind of stuff.
I think sex ed from 6th grade down is a little too young, but I mean, I
Right.
understand why they cut it off at third grade. I think they should have made it a little bit further along than third grade, but okay, you got to start somewhere. Hey, Jimmy,
Yeah.
how you?
Yeah, because I know that that when I was that age, weren't being taught about sex.
Now, I didn't see any sex ed in my academic career until high school.
Yeah.
I had sex ed in 7th grade in middle school.
What we got to school, they started
So
about all the
When did you see it? When did it come to you, Vic? 7th grade, 8th grade?
I think so. Yeah, when they started teaching us about like the reproductive system,
Yep.
But the bill does not mention the word gay or homosexual.
No,
anything like that. If you read the text of the bill, there is nothing in there about singling out any type of sexual act or sexual group or anything like that. All it is it bans talking about any kind of sex, homosexual sex, heterosexual sex, whatever, until 4th grade.
Right.
And I can't see how anyone objects to that. As a parent, I can't see how anyone could object to that. But man, they are giving DeSantis high holy hell about that. And he's taking it very well, and he's giving it right back to them. And the people of Florida are responding. I mean, finally we have an adult in the room willing to stand up to these special interest groups, willing to stand up to Disney, willing to stand up to the teachers union, willing to stand up to all kinds of these high-powered lobbies.
Yeah.
Because he believes he has principle, and he's on the right side of these issues. And the people of Florida seem to agree with him. I think he's going to be easily reelected this year. He certainly got my vote.
Yeah.
And I don't know what's going to happen in 2024 if he decides to run for the presidency, or he decides just to sit this one out and let Trump do it again. I'm not sure what Trump is going to do. Frankly,
well, I'll tell you right now, Trump's going to run. Trump's going to run, but I would vote for DeSantis before Trump.
Well, I'm pretty sure Trump is going to run, but I'm not really worried about 24 right now. I'm worried about 22. But I think Trump, just from an ego standpoint, I just think from the ego standpoint alone, he's going to run again.
Right.
Yeah.
And,
No.
And honestly, I don't think Biden's gonna make it to 2024.
No.
And I don't think the DNC is going to let Kamala Harris run again. I mean, if it was Trump versus Harris, Trump would kill her.
Okay.
There isn't enough shenanigans out there that could haul Harris over the line.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about but yes, so what about but Trump didn't Biden so if he's had
that's the kind of thing. Okay, going into that subject, Vic, I've seen other YouTube channels shut down for that. So I'm just going to say, for the YouTube algorithms that are out there, 2020 election was the squeakiest clean election in the history of mankind. Okay, because I literally was watching. I don't know if anyone knows who Charlie Kirk is.
No, I
Turning
don't.
Point USA. He does a weekly, a daily radio show that is broadcast on Celestial Radio, of course, but it's also streamed on, YouTube, Rumble, Getter, and a couple other
Twitch?
places.
What?
I don't think Twitch, no. But the other day he was talking about the 2020 election, and the show had been going for 11 minutes, and he was talking about the 2020 election, and YouTube killed the feed. 11 minutes in, they killed the feed, and it never came back.
That's why a lot of people stream on Rumble nowadays.
Rumble
Dumble.
Kind of like Steven.
I'm on Rumble. I have an account on Rumble. I'm not doing anything with it. I use it mostly to watch to watch videos on Rumble that aren't going to appear on YouTube.
What's Rumble?
Rumble is is like YouTube, only without the censorship.
So it's kind of like a ripoff, but without censorship.
No, it's basically another video streaming service like YouTube, but they don't have the algorithms that YouTube uses to shut down videos that deviate from orthodoxy.
So Saleen, me, Tiger Baskins, and Fish and Football, and Huffer Billy Paul are all going. I think I texted you about this a couple months ago, but we're going to St. Petersburg May 19th.
Okay.
Right. I got that written down.
Okay.
Right. Do you think you're going to be able to? We're doing a yacht cruise to Tampa. Do you think you're going to be able to?
Oh my God.
You think you're going to be able to make it? If not,
at this
if
point
not,
in time, it's probably going to be unlikely because my dad is not anywhere near recovered right now.
I got you.
Enough for me to be able to not be there in the evening to help my mom, because
Yeah,
the man's energy level is, I
decreasing.
mean, have you ever seen a bell curve?
Kind of. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
in the morning he's very low energy. As the day goes on, he about mid-afternoon he peaks, and then I mean it's not a really easy slope in the evening. I mean by 7 o'clock the man is wasted. I mean he's done. He has no energy left. He's in a lot of that wheelchair is putting him in a lot of pain, and he needs a lot of help in the evening.
Yeah,
So,
no worries. I was just putting hands out.
I would dearly love to meet you guys. I've never met any of you guys in person.
Right.
I would love to do it, but unless some miracle happens, it's not in the cards.
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah, I understand. I just wanted to reach out.
I mean, I wanted to go to the Slob softball game.
Yeah.
There's two problems with it. One is my father's health, which may improve by the end of July, but I don't know. And also that weekend, it's the same weekend as the Saleen Club of America. Their national event is the same weekend. And finally, they decided to hold the event in Florida. It's being held in Ocala.
Where's it usually at?
Well, it rotates around the country.
Oh, okay.
Last year,
you better go then if it's in Florida.
Well, the problem is I don't even know if I'll make it to there.
Well,
I mean, I'm registered to go to the event. I've got hotel reservation. I registered for the event itself, and I've tuned up the Saleen to make sure it'll make the trip. I'm pretty sure it'll make the trip. But I can cancel the reservation up to 3 days before the event, but if he's not able to move around on his own by the end of July, I'm going to have to cancel on that.
Yeah.
And I'm supposed to be one of the hosts for that show.
Well, I'll tell you what, I can work a clutch, I can work a stick shift. So you lend me that Saleen, I'll take it there for you. How about that?
No.
It can be alcohol.
Besides, that car would bankrupt you.
Okay, yeah.
That car gets on the highway, gets about 22 miles per gallon, and it burns 93 octane.
22? Oh, 93. Okay, yeah, okay.
Well, I have a 6-speed transmission with a pretty deep overdrive.
Hey, Saleen, have you seen the new? I don't know if you're a fan of Dodge, but have you seen the new Dodge Demon?
Oh, sure. I'm a fan of the Mopar.
The Dodge what?
It's called the Dodge. Yeah.
Oh, the Demon's been out for a while.
Oh.
Did you see the Ghoul?
No, I haven't.
The Ghoul or the Spectre?
The Ghoul.
No.
Well, okay. Now, for those of you who don't know, Dodge came out with a series of progressively more powerful supercharged V8s. The first one they called
Hellcat.
Hellcat, thank you. Sorry.
Yeah.
They called it the Hellcat. It was a 707 horsepower motor.
Mm-hmm.
And it had, and this is the lead. I'm sorry?
Some cops use the Hellcat still.
Yeah. Now, remember, this is a street legal automobile. It's got a VIN number. It's got a title. It's got emissions control. It's perfectly legal to drive on the street. 707 horsepower Hellcat. Then they came out with what they called the Demon. This is also street legal, believe it or not, but it's like it was about 840 something horsepower.
Yeah, it's
version
close to 900. Yeah, and those Demons don't play around, son.
Yeah. Now, and you can tune that back by using a different key, and there's all kinds of fun settings in the computer. But
yeah,
on premium gas with all the settings turned on, you can get about 848 horsepower out of a Demon.
Holy.
Now, after the Demon, they came out with the Hellcat Red Eye, which is a Hellcat motor, but tuned up to about 797 horse.
So it's not as powerful as the Demon, but it's new.
Right.
It's better
And
than
then recently they came out with, now it was either called the Ghoul or the Spectre. I can't remember which. They took the Demon motor and turned it up. It literally makes over 1,000 horsepower.
Holy.
and it's street legal.
Street legal.
Street
It has
legal.
a VIN number. It can be registered. It can be titled. It has street legal DOT tires. And if you drive that son of a bitch in the rain, I guarantee you will die.
Yeah.
What's up, Mr. Sancho? How you doing, man?
You drive in the rain, you
So they
The tires they use on the Demon and the Ghoul or Spectre. Somebody look that up.
Well,
that's gonna bother me.
if you have like all season tires, will you not die if you had like all season?
No, well, you won't die, but you won't go anywhere either. The all-season tires don't have the traction to put down that kind of
grip.
Gotcha.
See, the tires they use on the Demon and the Ghoul Spectre are basically street legal drag radials.
Yeah, I seen a video. One of the actors from Friends. I forgot which one, but
probably Matt Blank.
Yeah, Matt Blank. Yeah, he drag raced a Lamborghini Aventador, and the Demon actually beat it. I was like surprised.
I wouldn't be surprised. Aventador is not set up for a drag race.
Didn't they? This is what I was about to ask you, Saleen. Didn't they? I know they didn't. My pawpaw, he died in a Dodge Viper, and they stopped making them that year actually. But I think they're trying to make Vipers again. I think it was last year that they put out their new Viper.
Or it's probably a.
I didn't know they were redoing the Viper again.
Yeah, I think they are. I think it was last year. I don't know. Someone has to look it up.
It's probably a different name with a Viper, but let's look it up.
Now let's see, Dodge Viper.
Dodge Viper for sale.
You wanted to look up the Dodge Ghoul, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna look that up for a second here.
Right.
Viper's been out of production since 2017.
Yep.
I
thought it was later.
I thought they started making them back in 2020, 2021, maybe. Maybe I'm wrong. Might be.
They're saying that the Viper is not making a comeback right now because of regulations have basically killed the V10. I keep hearing rumors that they're going to try and redo the Viper with a hybrid motor.
Right. So my papa was proud of his truck. I'll tell you that right now. He was a World War II vet, and that's what he got. He had a camper, toured across the country, bought himself a Dodge Viper truck, and I tell you that truck. Oh, it sounded good. It sounded real good.
Holy!
It was a 2-seater.
Dang it!
But it sounded good, Saleen. You would have loved it if you would have seen it.
Right, yeah, it will give you ear gas. Yeah.
Okay, now I'm seeing that the Ghoul.
It's not out yet.
The Ghoul is not real yet.
It looks cool.
They're still playing with the idea, but they haven't produced it. So I guess
they
haven't decided whether or not they're going to put it in production.
Okay.
Yeah,
But, but
They're going to make it look like I'm looking at a picture of it right now. It's going to look like a Dodge Daytona,
and then what about
the old style Daytona.
the Dodge Spectre?
Ooh.
No, I was wrong. It's not. Spectre's not a name. It's it's going to be the Ghoul. They're not using the word Spectre.
Okay.
I see Albert Sancho in the chat.
Yeah,
I would like
him,
him
man.
to. I would like him to join the StreamYard. I have a question to ask him, but I
Well,
won't
the
mention
link
it
right above
until
it.
it comes on.
I'll put the link in there again. There it is.
Albert
Dodge
Sancho's a good
Angel.
guy. He's been around a long time too.
Oh yeah, he's been around the channel quite a while. Oh, there's only 8 people in it. We haven't even gotten into double digits on people being in here. I guess I shouldn't be surprised. I mean, you go away for a couple of months and people forget. Whatever. What's MVS? Oh, most valuable slob.
Yeah.
I didn't clue in until just now. I have both MVSs in my stream.
That's right.
That's pretty cool.
Yep.
God, I really wanted to be at that Slav Olympics. I've never been to Pigeon Forge. I've never been up there.
It's.
I know.
Do you know what Branson, Missouri is?
No. Well, I know of it, but I've never been there.
Yeah, it's basically like Branson, but a little bit bigger.
Oh, okay.
So Branson's just a little town like Pigeon Forge. It has a lot of similar stuff to do there.
I heard it
And
was.
it's basically the same as Pigeon Forge. It has like a lot of hotels. Yeah,
It looked. And I saw the videos and stuff. It looked like it was cold as hell.
it was the Nebraska weather.
Yes, it was 26 degrees and snowing.
Yep, Nebraska weather. I actually
March.
No, thank you.
I
don't want snow.
In March.
Battle Angel said it was freezing, and Battle Angel looked kind of uncomfortable.
I felt normal.
We know, yeah.
I think I would have been fairly miserable.
Well, I'll tell you what the worst part was, and everyone didn't know it, but it felt good at the time, was that pool right beside the parking garage where we were doing the event was super warm. People would go in and out, so you get 80-degree temperature and then go back to 40, 30-degree temperature, and then
we had to go in and out.
Good, you know?
Inside the pool.
And then by the way, Vic 2 brought Corona there. So
no, I did not bring it.
Vic 2.
It did a little.
Y'all don't know that.
Vic 2 brought Corona.
Yeah, everyone is accused of bringing Corona. Yeah.
I'm just messing with you, man. I'm just messing.
Yeah, I know.
Big 2 trying to get everybody wasted at the Slob Olympics.
Yeah, so it was inside the pool, it was like Florida, and then outside it was like Alaska. So.
Yeah, exactly. Saleen, I wish you were there, man. I've been, I guess striving is the word that comes to mind to meet you, man. I'm just really excited to meet you one day.
Well, I appreciate that. I'm going to try and make it to the one in South Carolina,
Charleston, I think.
Yeah, and also I appreciate you for sponsoring the softball event. That does not go unnoticed. I appreciate that.
Well, I mean, I thought it was a great idea that Jesse came up with, and I thought, I was thinking the whole video that the first video he did on, I was thinking to myself, I'm cursing the fact that I won't be able to go. Because I just know I'm not going to be able to go either because of the Saleen Club of America conflict or because I've got to be here for my family.
Right. Yeah.
And then he was talking about, I already rented the field and it sounded like, why should he have to do that? I mean, he's planning the whole damn thing. He's probably going to put out for other things, like, why does he have to shoulder that burden? And I said, hang on. Okay. I said, $100. I got $100. I'm more than happy to help for the $100. So I just PayPal it to him.
Hey, Saleen, I don't know if I told you this, but I am going on a cruise this May, like this month.
You want to?
Sorry about that. My Bluetooth kept connecting to something that wasn't supposed to be connecting to, so I turned it off real quick. So should be good.
Nate, did you say you want a cruise or you're going on a cruise?
I'm going on a cruise.
Yeah, to where?
Like from departure or just the islands?
Where you leaving? Where are you leaving out of?
Port of Miami.
Miami.
Oh, Port Everglades.
Yeah.
That's okay. And you're probably going to the Bahamas, or you're going to?
We're going to Caribbean, which is I think the first one we go to is Harvest Caye, I think.
Right.
And then Belize City, Belize, and Honduras.
Well, that's a long cruise.
I'm going all over.
It's a 7.
All the way across the Caribbean and the Gulf.
Yeah, it's a 7-day cruise. So,
And you're leaving this month?
Yeah, the 29th. Yeah.
You picked a good month to do that because, you waited too much longer into the year, and that's hurricane season.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hurricane season, by the way, starts June 1st. Oh, and Battle Angel, if you're still here, my visual aid for my video on hurricanes and Indian legends is here, so I can put that video together, and I'm gonna get that on YouTube. Looks like the 24th is when it was.
What is more terrifying? Water spouts, tornadoes, or hurricanes?
Hurricanes
by far.
Well, water spout and tornadoes the same thing,
but
roughly. Hurricane definitely more because
powerful.
A tornado can last a few minutes.
Yeah.
A tornado will be there and gone in 10, 15 minutes?
Yeah, or hours. It's big.
Yeah, but it's destructive as hell. I will not minimize the destructive force of a tornado. But a hurricane will come by and it'll hang around a while. Now, hurricanes don't move very fast.
Yeah, hurricanes sit. Tornadoes move.
Yep. And they sit and spin, and they do a lot of damage over hundreds of miles.
Yeah.
And I've lived through several hurricanes. It's never pleasant. Even the last hurricane that hit this area was Irma.
Mm-hmm.
And it started out as a very big storm, but by the time it hit here, it had weakened significantly, owing again to that legend that I will go over in an upcoming video, which Battle Angel requested. And even at a low power category 2 hurricane, it did a good deal of damage to
was it that one that went like 2 miles per hour? Or no? Was that
it was moving pretty slow. It was moving pretty slow.
So that was the one that was going 2 miles per hour? Or no?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Pizza Woman, good to see you. My number one troll killer is Pizza Woman. I don't know why you didn't get a notification. I really don't. Sorry about that. I remember one storm that hit here in the early 2000s. I think it was '04. Charlie, which was
Charlie was bad. I remember that.
Charlie was a very bad storm, but it was a very small storm.
Yeah,
Very,
it wasn't
very
expected to be that bad.
Yeah, and it wasn't, and it looked like it was going to direct hit Sarasota, and for some reason, again, the legend, it literally took a 50, 60 degree right turn, went right up Charlotte Harbor, and went right up the spine of the state. And I'll tell you a true story. Charlie came into the spine of the state. Now, I'm on the coast of Florida in Sarasota.
Okay.
There's a small town / city east of me, about 35 miles east of me, called Arcadia.
Mm-hmm.
Nice little town.
Mm-hmm.
It blasted Arcadia. I mean, ripped that little town to shreds. At the same time, I was in Sarasota at my house. I had sent my then wife, and girls up to Atlanta to stay with their mother. I got one shingle blown off the roof of my house. I got nothing.
Yeah.
I had more rain from an afternoon thunderstorm than I did from Charlie. I never lost power. I never lost any utilities. No damage. But 35 miles away, east of me, Arcadia was bitch slapped. And that's how, and that storm moved very fast, right through the middle of the state, popped out around St. Augustine, Jacksonville area, and got into the Atlantic and did all kinds of damage up the East Coast.
Mm-hmm.
But that son of a bitch moved fast.
Yeah.
But that was Charlie. And that was the year in 2004. That was the year Florida got hit by 4 hurricanes, 2 tropical storms, and 1 subtropical storm.
Yeah.
Nobody said a goddamn word about poor old Florida. Meanwhile, New Orleans gets hit by 1 Category 3 storm and the entire nation bleeds.
Yes, that's right.
It doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you why it don't make sense. Florida gets hit by it every single year, and Louisiana kind of don't. So I think they.
But it's funny. It's the East Coast of Florida gets hit more than the West Coast.
That's right.
Except the Panhandle.
What power company do you works for you?
Florida Power and Light.
Florida Power and Light. Okay.
Okay.
They're not bad. They have it under control when it comes to putting shit back together after it gets knocked down.
Okay. Yeah. So that's my line of work. So and y'all haven't had one in the past 11 months.
No,
so
the hurricane season is starting up. And
right. So I'm not saying I'm
supposedly
looking forward to hurricane season, but it pays very, very well. So
I understand.
I'm not saying I'm looking forward. I kind of worded that wrong, but
Ramajama Taylor, that's a new name for my channel.
Ramajam.
Thanks for stopping by. Good to see you. Is Crimson Brave in here?
no, I do not see him.
Well, Pizza Woman says, "Howdy, Crimson. Did you change your name back for old time's sake?" So is Ramajama Taylor Crimson Brave?
No.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
It doesn't matter to me either way. I note it because Pizza Woman said it. I make note of it. Well, I start my hurricane prep, getting stuff together for hurricane season about now. I start stashing water in the house. I've already got food in the house, batteries, lanterns, other things that part of the hurricane kit. Oh, Crimson 1077. Okay, that makes sense. So I'm just gathering up the water part, which is always the last thing that I do.
Mm-hmm.
I meant to ask you something. Lou always gives you a hard time about the National Guard coming down for hurricane season. And I don't know enough information to be on one side or the other. So
no, Lou made fun of it was a few years ago. A hurricane had taken aim at the east coast of Florida, and the projected path, I don't even remember exactly which year it was, but the projected path was going to take it over or near Gainesville. And it was going to hit during the weekend during the football game.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
And it never got there. I mean, it basically the path of the hurricane shifted, and instead of going into Florida, it turned more north and went up the East Coast.
Right.
But what happened? Now go ahead.
Y'all canceled the game. So is that when y'all were supposed to play LSU or?
Yeah, I think that was the LSU game. What happened was, what happens during hurricane alert is the governor declares state of emergency.
Yep.
And what happens is the Florida Highway Patrol, in particular, and also the sheriff's departments of the various counties that are going to be affected, municipal police forces, even in the case of Gainesville, the University Police Department, they all become mobilized for emergency services and emergency hurricane protection. The same thing happens to EMS and fire.
Yeah.
Rescue. So all that stuff now turns its attention to hurricane prep and disaster relief. And obviously, if you've got a hurricane coming in right near the time of a football game, which requires a lot of security. I mean, if you go to a game in Gainesville, you see University Police Department, UPD, you see Gainesville Police, you see Alachua County Sheriff, and you see Florida Highway Patrol, and you even see Florida's state equivalent of the FBI.
So
FDLE, I think it's called.
The FBI.
Well, it's Florida's equivalent. Georgia has a Georgia Bureau of Investigation. Right. Florida has what's called the FDLE. Florida.
The GBI. If you ever go to the Masters one day, the GBI is all over that place.
Yeah. So all that security for the game. I mean, you've got to be security on the field. You've got security at all the gates. You've got security in the concourses. You've got security around the campus. You've got fire rescue there in case of a disaster. You've got ambulances there to take care of the players and stuff. It's a lot of EMS, emergency response, first responders at a football game. Mm-hmm. Nobody thinks about this stuff because mostly it all happens in the background.
Yep.
But you can't have several hundred first responders at a football game in one place in Gainesville, Florida, and you have a hurricane heading to the state, and you need those people over on the coast and staged around the projected path of the storm. So the decision was made by the university, backed up by the SEC, and by the way, with the agreement of LSU, I mean, obviously Louisiana gets its fair share of storms also, so it's not like they don't understand this, that we're going to cancel the game and we're going to free up all that first responder personnel for disaster relief. Now, fortunately, God bless us, that storm, whatever storm it was, I can't remember, didn't hit Florida. Yeah. We didn't even get any rain or wind or anything. Nothing happened. And that's the preferred outcome if you're a Floridian. That your life doesn't get disrupted by Mother Nature. But we canceled the game. And we canceled the game for
It's probably the smartest
So
decision.
y'all didn't cancel it. Y'all rescheduled it, but
Yeah, we
y'all ended
rescheduled.
up playing it later in the year. But y'all both had to cancel one of your
Right.
non-conference.
But Lou, God bless him, bless his heart and all that stuff. This for Lou is perfect troll fodder. Florida canceled a game and nothing happened and they overreacted and they're afraid to play LSU and blah, 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 blah. And it's just, it's such silliness that I a couple of times I tried to, everyone, I've known Lou for 6 or 7 years now. I've met him several times. He's a friend. I consider him a friend. He's a great guy, very entertaining, very very interesting mind to watch in action. But long ago, I learned don't get into an argument with Lou. It's pointless. Even if you give him documented evidence that you're right and he's wrong, he's not going to be wrong.
Oh, well, if you ever get an argument with Lou, you know where
Yeah.
you're going to be. You're going to be the nail. He's going to be the hammer.
He's going to hammer you.
Right.
Even if he's wrong, he's going to hammer you. So long ago, I learned don't go down the rabbit hole that Lou opens up. Don't do that.
Yeah, and thank God I'm a Georgia fan.
Yeah,
Jesus Christ, because I don't know.
His friend and being a Florida fan.
Yeah.
So a couple of times after that incident, I tried to defend the decision to postpone or cancel the game or whatever, because and obviously I explained to him what I just explained to you about the first responders and all that. And I can't be right.
But I have to ask you this though. So I know Miami has a lot of hype in the off season, like they always do. But I seem like they have a little chance to overcome that hype. What do you think about that?
Overcome the hype? What do you mean?
Yeah. Like I think they can outdo themselves this year.
But
I'm going to defer to the just come into the stream Miami fan on that one.
So what do you mean? Do you mean like be better than they think they're going to be?
Exactly, Vic. Yeah.
Well, I don't know. They already think Miami fans already think very highly of their of their football team. I mean,
well, I'll ask you this. And we got the perfect person in the chat. Like, do we or we? I say we. Does Miami play Clemson this year?
Yes.
They always play Clemson, don't they?
No, they don't play. They don't always, because they're in different divisions.
I think Miami is going to do well this year. They're certainly going to do better than Florida this year. Florida is going to have.
Yeah, that's for sure.
I don't think they will. I don't think they will.
You know what I think in terms of Florida, and I'll let Slim weigh in on this. But in terms of Florida, you know how Lou has been saying for the past few years that the only way that General Voltard is going to get resurrected is if Tennessee beats either Florida, Alabama, or Georgia. Get ready for General Voltard to be resurrected this year, because Florida ain't going to Knoxville and beat Georgia, beat Tennessee this year.
I'm ready to bring back the General.
General Voltard will be resurrected this year at the expense of the Florida Gators. You heard it here first, folks. I'm already stipulating that Florida will not beat Tennessee this year. Sorry, there's just
I don't blame you, boy. I don't blame you.
It's too much to ask that team to beat Tennessee this year.
Well, you'll probably still be better than Miami.
I don't know. I don't know. Miami's pretty jacked. What do you think, Slim? By the way, how you doing, man?
I'm doing fine. I mean, I can't say the same for Colby here in a few minutes, but I'm doing great.
Here we go.
I mean, it all depends on what, you or anybody else thinks their expectations should be. Your expectations and mine could be exactly the same.
Well, what do you think Tennessee? What do you think Miami's record's going to be at the end of the turn?
Somewhere around 9-3.
No.
So what? So 9-3. So do you take the over or the under, Colby?
Oh, I'll take the under. They ain't winning 9 games. Get out of here.
Okay, now explain your reasoning why.
Because you're Miami. That's my reasoning.
Okay.
Colby, they're not too better.
Colby,
okay. I'll give you a real
Colby,
reason. I'll
stop licking
I'll
windows,
give you a
sir.
real reason.
Stop licking windows.
First year, yeah, I'll quit licking the windows. When you quit licking never mind, I'll stop. But first year head coach.
Okay.
Mario didn't do too well with that offense that he had last year. Y'all's quarterback isn't that great. Let's just be honest.
Mm-hmm.
I know you play in the worst, quote unquote, the worst.
Dude, do not be mad that my. Hey, hang on.
Go ahead, sir.
Don't be mad. How are you? My quarterback outdid yours with half a season.
Yes.
Stop hating.
Okay. All right. Go ahead. Is that all you had?
Outdid? Okay.
Yes, more yards, more touchdowns.
Apparently, Miami's quarterback outdid the national championship
Right, more yards,
quarterback.
more yards, more touchdowns, but no rings. So.
Okay, that's fine. That wasn't Miami's expectation. That's not Miami's expectation this year.
Oh, come on, Slim. Don't stop being humble, man.
You can find a Miami fan that'll say that. I'll laugh at them with you.
So your expectation is 9-3.
Well, who are the 3 losses to, Slim?
Well, Clemson, Texas A&M, and
the third one's hard to nail down. It'll be a game that they're favored in that they probably should win.
Y'all play NC State?
No, but we did play them last year and beat a ranked NC State. Thank you.
Them, so there you go. Yeah.
Well, congratulations,
Georgia. And we beat the SEC. I mean the ACC champions too.
Yeah.
Hey, Saleen, look up Miami's schedule real quick.
Okay, hang on.
Well, they're the only non-con they may lose is Texas A&M. The rest of them are nothing to brag about. And as far as in conference, you've got Virginia Tech, Virginia, Georgia Tech, Pitt, Clemson, Florida State.
Oh, okay. So
I hope they beat Florida State.
I don't think you're going to beat Florida State. I'll tell you that right now.
Oh, come on, Colby! Stop smoking the wacky weedus.
No, Colby I'll tell you right now, I ain't smoking nothing.
Colby had 3 Tide Pods with lunch.
Yeah, well, just a little.
Hang on, I'm gonna pull the schedule up here in a second. I'm gonna put it on the screen as soon as I get my computer to respond. There's got too many windows open. So, okay, here we go.
Slim Shady Canes, I will make you a bet right now. 9-3 record will not be Miami's record, and I'll bet you a beer on next Slob Olympic.
A beer on next Slob Olympic.
Okay. I mean, it very well it could be better than that. Could be. I mean, they could.
Better. No.
Oh, come on! Because Texas A&M is guaranteed to lose 4 games. Miami could very well be one.
Not guaranteed, but you know.
Can y'all see the schedule now?
Yeah, we can see that.
I see it, but I can't. I see it. Well, I can barely read it, but looks like you got Bethune, Cookman.
Yeah, Southern Miss, A&M, and Middle Tennessee State.
Let's see. Okay. Let's see. You got North Carolina.
Yeah, y'all are going 8-4.
Virginia Tech, Duke, Virginia, Georgia Florida State, Georgia Tech, Clemson.
I'm looking at the schedule, and I think 9-3 is doable. The only losses I see here are A&M, Tar Heels, and Clemson.
I'm not so sure about North Carolina.
Yeah. To be completely honest with y'all, like North Carolina is going to be a tough game.
Well, who's your fourth loss, Colby?
Only because
who's the fourth loss, Colby?
Well, no, fourth loss, Georgia Tech, easily.
Wait, what? Georgia Tech?
That's a poor troll attempt, sir. I expect better.
That's dumb. Wow.
Yeah, well,
I
my
don't
check bounced.
care about Miami winning or losing here. The only thing I care about is Miami beats Florida State. That's all I care about.
I mean, in general, I look at it like this. They went 7-5 last year with the new coaching staff in place. That staff is worth 2 wins. 9-3.
I agree with you. I think 9-3. To be honest, I think 9-3 is the most reasonable one. But knowing Miami with the first-year head coach, 8-4 is my pick.
Well, and
even though I love y'all's new head coach, though. But I mean,
if you look at Uncle Lou's comment section of the Miami preview, I put plus or minus a game, and I put 9-3 plus or minus a game. So 8-4 wouldn't surprise me. 10-2 wouldn't surprise me either.
I mean, I hope Miami fans don't get discouraged. Like if you get out 8-4, like that ain't bad. That ain't a bad record for a first-year head coach. I mean, shoot, Kirby was 7-5 his first year.
But there's a big difference though. Kirby had never been a head coach. This is Mario Cristobal's third head coaching job.
That's true. Yep, that's true. Well, so is that you think he coached 2 games before, so he should have a better record joining a new team?
I think between him and the other coaches that he hired, they're worth a couple extra wins.
That's the one thing, and I'm glad you mentioned that. That's the one thing that stands out to me. The assistant coaches.
Oh, yeah.
And that coaching, I don't know if you looked at it, Saleen, but their coachings are who do they have? I know they got Ed Reed.
Well, yeah, Ed Reed's still there, but I mean that's a whatever thing.
The old Texas coach.
They got Charlie Strong and Kevin Steele run defense.
Charlie Strong, that's the guy I was thinking of.
They got Caddis with Michigan's offensive coordinator last year. It's their coordinator now.
Yeah.
He brought his O-line coach from Oregon, which I was a fan of because that was one of the spots at Oregon that you really couldn't complain about was their offensive line. He went to the NFL, got a D-line coach, which I'm all for going after NFL guys. It tends to work out pretty well.
What's up? Tiger Baskins is in here. P Digits is in here, and J Dub is in here. Good to see all of you. The only thing, I mean, this season's going to be hard for Gator Nation. It's not going to be pleasant to watch. I just hope that we get to watch something happen in Gainesville we haven't seen for 3 or 4 years now. Defense. Would be nice to see a defense wearing orange and blue again, so we could become DBU again. I mean, other than that, I'm looking at a 7-5 season myself. So it is not going to be a lot of fun to be a Florida Gator. What do you say?
I said that's exactly where I picked Florida, plus or minus a game.
7-5 is doable for this team. I mean, they're not beating Utah. They're not beating Georgia. I don't think they're beating Tennessee. I don't think they're going to beat LSU.
You don't think they're beating Tennessee?
No. If the game were in Florida, we're at Florida, I would say we have a shot. And in Knoxville, and they finally in Tennessee, they finally have a quarterback they can at least be semi proud of. Was it Hendon Ho?
Yeah. Hendon
Yeah,
Hooker. Yeah.
Okay. So
Hey, Hendon Ho.
Tennessee smells blood in the water. They might even think they have a chance against Georgia or against Alabama, but they damn sure got a chance against Florida.
Well, here's the thing, though. Can you really put your faith in Hendon Hooker? There's a reason he was benched at Virginia Tech.
Yeah, he's unpredictable.
Well, maybe, but he was slinging the ball pretty good last year. I mean, at the end of the year, people were looking at Tennessee and said, "How in the hell did Florida beat them?"
Yeah.
BVD was incredulous. He was watching Tennessee doing really well and Florida absolutely falling apart, and he is looking in the camera every video and like, "How in the hell did Florida beat us?" And I look back at my screen and I typed in, I said, "I have no fucking idea." I really don't. I mean, I'm glad it happened, but I have no idea how Florida beat Tennessee last year. I really don't. I mean, and Kentucky might even give us a big problem. I mean, they beat us last year. They might beat us again.
Yeah, they might.
There was a lot of damage done in Gainesville.
I really think
three different coaches.
When's the last time Florida played? University of Florida played, or Florida University played Miami?
Come on.
2019.
2019. That was Felipe Franks tried to give the game away like 15 times.
Yeah.
Who won that game?
A top 10 ranked Florida beat a 6-6 Miami team by 2 points.
4 points.
4 points.
Was it 4?
24.
That's right, because if the kicker had made both of those field goals, we'd have won.
That's right.
Yeah, Florida had no offense.
Do they play again anytime soon?
Yeah, Florida.
2024 and 2025.
Yeah, a couple of years from now.
Yeah.
We might, by the time we get to play Miami again, Florida might have righted the ship a little bit, and we might give Miami a good game. Or Miami might fall apart and we might win the game. I don't know what's going to happen in 2 years.
Well, in my opinion, I think Miami's on the more upside than Florida is at the moment.
Oh yeah. Florida, Miami definitely is ascending, and Florida is treading water.
Uh-huh.
Well, and you give it, regardless of how Billy Napier turns out, you give it 2 years from now, 2024, Miami will be the far superior talented team.
Maybe. But you know what? The one thing I take solace in, and I keep falling back on this guy, but sometimes his opinions are right. When Lou got on the video right after we hired Napier and couldn't find anything to criticize him about, that said something. Because God knows if there had been one little thing wrong with Napier, he would have latched onto that like a pit bull onto a human leg.
That's true.
And J-Dub, I guess this troll is aimed at Florida again, and it's a worthless troll.
You know, Saleen, I'm sorry to cut you off real quick, but Jeff Webster said something in a chat the other day that, and it don't fit well with me. He said that the only reason Alabama lost the national championship against Georgia is because of injuries, and I would like to hear y'all's thoughts about that. And the chat.
Honestly, to say it didn't really pay much attention.
I mean, to say it didn't play a factor would be untrue. Obviously, it played a factor.
Yes, it did.
played a factor, but you got to play the game with the weapons at your disposal. Now, if you got hit by the injury bug at the wrong time, hey, sucks to be you, but you got to. If you lose a player, you got to plug in another one. That's why you're supposed to be developing your second and your third stringers.
Yes, and I
that's
guess
exactly
Nick
where I'm
Saban
fixing.
Didn't do that.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly where I was fixing to go with it. There's a reason he was able to throw Tua into the second half of that 2017 game and win, because Tua, for the second half of all those blowouts all year long, had been running the offense. And Nick Saban had a whole bunch of 5-star second strings sitting on the bench, not running the offense.
Right.
So that is Nick Saban's fault.
Yeah.
And we can always turn the tables on that question and say, well, maybe Stetson Bennett isn't Tim Tebow, but he was certainly serviceable enough quarterback to get in there. But what if he had been injured? Y'all didn't play your second and third stringers very much. What if the injury bug had hit Stetson Bennett? You got to throw in one of the inexperienced quarterbacks, and you and Georgia shit the bed, and Alabama wins in that.
Well, no, we would have put in JT Daniels.
Yeah, but he had more rest on him.
And let's just pretend that
you would have put in JT Daniels, and he would have gotten. Hang on, Colby.
Yes, sir.
Y'all would have put in JT Daniels, and he would have got fucking murdered.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, we know.
Oh, JT is still hurt to this day.
In a car sitting at the bottom of the ocean.
Actually, yes, we know.
Right.
Yes, we know that, Slim.
But all I'm saying is, it's what's sauce for the goose is sauce for the gander. If the injury bug had hit Georgia and Georgia lost, sorry, you had to go into battle with the pieces you had. Alabama.
That's
the thing.
That's the thing.
The injury bug did hit Georgia. It just wasn't at the same time as Alabama.
Yeah, it hit us in the off season. So
yeah, so we had probably the best wide receiver in the country go down with Pickens.
Stop it! I am sick and fucking tired of hearing
I knew Slim was about to chime in.
Is Pickens going to play this year?
George Pickens
he
got drafted exactly where he should have. He got drafted exactly where he should have for his production. Which was
production because of what, though, Slim?
He was injured 1 year, not 3.
Where did Pickens
find? He was injured. He was injured 1.5 years. That's what he was injured. He was injured for a long time.
Yeah,
he was injured. He was injured 1 year, not 3.
That's right.
No, I didn't say 3 years. I did not say 3 years. So give us the. Here we go. Here comes the Alabama fan.
Here we go.
Well, the Georgia fan got their say. Alabama fan might as well.
What do you got for us?
We had a first round draft pick. Tate Radledge out the whole year.
George.
And then we
George.
Hold on, Jeff.
George Pickens. Pickens, whose career numbers are less than Jameson Williams had in one season in Alabama.
I still have to make up injuries like you're about to do. Okay.
All right. Well, you're right. George Pickens would have been one of the best wide receivers, but not the best.
Well, luckily you didn't need him.
I agree with
that. I don't disagree that George Pickens had the potential, but he never came anywhere near that potential.
Hey, before you guys go any much further, J-Dub, I'm assuming that thing about no regular season regular season non-cons nonsense was aimed at the Florida Gators. Dude, you're better than that, so stop with that worthless troll.
Yes,
right.
It's not a worthless troll.
Non-conference games outside of the state.
Florida has not played a non-conference regular season game west of the Mississippi River since the first Reagan administration.
That's not true because Florida played played Michigan in Dallas in 2017. So
neutral site game. I said regular season non-conference game, not one of these kickoff classics.
regular
Just-
season non-conference
just
game
because-
west of the Mississippi. You didn't say anything about a road game.
Just because Florida's one non-com Power 5 game each year happens to be against Florida State, which is an in-state game. It's
Yeah,
a
and I don't mind that. I think Florida should play Florida State and Miami every year.
I think Florida should play Miami every year. Unfortunately, the way the conference schedule goes, and you know this better than anybody,
Yeah,
the way
I
the
know.
schedule is laid out. And actually, I made a walking and talking video about this very subject and how I think we fix it. And that will be coming out the 31st.
I tell you what, I have for a long time thought the SEC should go to a 9-game conference season. I don't like the fact that they only play 8.
I
Now,
agree.
when Oklahoma and Texas come in, that's going to force them to go to 9. But the thing is that shouldn't have happened. They should have gone to 9 before then on their own anyway, but they haven't.
Well,
Well,
whether it's an
Miami
8-game
was
schedule
super
or whether it's an 8-game schedule or 9-game schedule, there's a very, very easy solution for Florida to play Miami every year, and that's called grow a set of balls.
Ooh.
Miami should have joined the SEC instead of the ACC.
For what? Like I said,
Well-
if I had my way, Miami would still be independent. I could care less about any conference.
All I'm saying is that Florida State and Miami had the opportunity to join a big boy conference,
Right.
and they didn't. And that's all I'm going to say about that.
Okay.
Miami and Florida State should have joined the SEC.
That's right. Yeah, and that's right. And Georgia Tech was in the SEC, and they left to go to the ACC.
I'm going to disagree and say Miami should have stayed independent.
Miami was.
In retrospect, that might have been
I thought Miami
the best
was
move
in
for Miami
the
was
Big
to
East.
try to survive with the Notre Dame style schedule.
Miami didn't join the Big East until the 90s.
Oh, okay.
I was about to say, come back, Colby. There he is.
Yeah,
Sorry
I
about
know
that.
Miami joining
What's
the
also-
Big
I
East.
got to get something to drink. Keep going. I'll be right back. Keep going.
Yeah.
When Miami was an independent, they were winning natties, and they had the moxie and the pull and the wherewithal to remain independent.
Sure.
So I was surprised when they went into the Big East. I thought they would try to take the Notre Dame road and fly that independent flag, but they didn't do it.
Nope.
I wish they would have, and they did a pretty good job at scheduling a good schedule to where as long as you win, there wasn't no arguing with them.
Right? Yeah. And they were playing a quote unquote national schedule. They were able to get people from across the country because they weren't locked into a conference. But
Right.
that's neither here nor there. Those days are over. I mean, Notre Dame is eventually going to have to go somewhere. I mean,
Yeah, they're going to go to the ACC. ACC.
Wait, so I thought Jeff Wester came on here to give excuses for Alabama losing the Natty.
Well, before he does that, I got one question. Does somebody go live at 6?
On Wednesdays? No.
On Wednesdays, no. Oh wait,
Because
yeah. Yes, Boss Babes. Yeah,
Yeah,
just
the
Boss
girls go at 6. Yes.
Yeah,
And
Boss
I know
Babes
I have
at
to
6.
jump off at 5, so we got about 45 minutes to play with unless I get a phone call. But
Yeah, Boss
I just
Babes
wanted to make
starts
sure I
at
wasn't
6.
going to be stepping on anybody's toes.
So what I basically heard from Jeff Wester is the only reason Alabama lost the national championship is because of injuries.
Yes, and why does it matter? Because injuries are part of the game, so why does it matter?
Saleen and Slim, I apologize to both of you for having to go through this as I explain it for the 9,516th time
Oh, no,
these-
it's fine. Jeff, that's why I'm here. I'm here to be entertained as well as to try and entertain you guys. So have at it, my friend. Have at it.
I have not once, not ever, not at any time, ever, in any location, in print, on audio, in my mind, in my thought, in my dream, while I was taking a shit, while I was in the shower, while I was playing with my dog, ever made an excuse for Alabama losing the national championship game.
That is bull. That's BS. That's BS.
Listen to me. Shut up for a minute, Colby. Would you fucking Georgia fans shut up and listen for once? You got us one time in the last 8 games, and you think we should bow down and kiss the ring, and you're too fucking dense to hear common sense. When I tell you that those injuries impacted the outcome of the game, that's not an excuse. It's an observation that they impacted the outcome of the game. That's all I've ever said. I've never said if those players are on the field, it guarantees an Alabama victory. That's not what I've said. All I've ever said was, if you think that didn't have a negative impact on Alabama's chances to win, then you don't know what the fuck you're looking at.
I
Okay.
think Jeff was slightly
That is
animated.
all I have ever said. That if
Okay.
you're so stupid, you
Right.
can't think that having your 1, 2, and 3 cornerbacks, your 2, 3, and 4 running backs, your 2 receiver, and your 1 receiver out after 18 minutes. If you're so dense that you don't think that combination affects your ability, your odds at victory, then you don't know what you're looking at.
That's fine.
That's
That's
all I've
fine.
ever said.
No, I understand that. I understand what you just named a number.
But Georgia
of
fans hear that.
Wait, hold
Georgia
on.
fans hear that. Georgia fans hear that, and then they get butthurt and they say, "That's just you not giving us credit. That's you don't want to
No,
admit that
I did
we
not say
beat
that.
you."
I did not say that. I said injuries. The word was injuries that I implemented into
Yeah,
this band.
those
that
injuries impacted the Alabama's chances to win dramatically. Were dramatically lowered by those injuries.
So
Yeah.
Jeff,
That goes
Jeff,
back to what I said 5 minutes
Jeff,
ago.
hold on,
Yes,
Slim,
they
hold on.
did
Let me-
impact the
let me
game.
Had it been
Let
the
me
other way
respond,
around,
Slim, real quick. Let me
had
respond.
Georgia
Slim, real quick.
endured those injuries, it would have affected their odds of winning.
And that's fine. Yeah.
Slim,
So
all
I
right,
did not.
Jeff,
I did
let
not
him-
mention. I did not mention Georgia at all. I mentioned you talking about injuries, and for
Right.
the past 2.5 minutes, you talked about Alabama injuries. So what did I say wrong?
You think that I'm making an excuse when I bring those injuries up? I'm not. I'm making an observation, not an excuse. An excuse would be there was a bad call or we threw the game or something. That would be an excuse.
I mean,
Crying and
that's like
whining.
that's like saying Willis McGahee going down in that 0-2 game didn't affect Miami winning the game. Of
Right.
course it did.
Yes. And if Brock Bowers had gotten hurt and Zamir Cook had gotten hurt and Stetson Bennett had gone out and JT the frozen to the ground, Daniels had gotten in there and Will Anderson had lit him up for 9 sacks and Georgia would have lost, you'd have been saying, "Oh, those injuries, they killed us." And I would have said,
No,
yeah,
I wouldn't have. You can't put words in my mouth. You can't put words in my mouth. No, I wouldn't.
I would if that had happened. If that would have happened, I would have said, "You know what happened? Bama got a break. Georgia's best weapons got hurt, and it really limited their chances at victory." It's just one of those things that happened.
You're literally blaming injuries while you're saying you're not blaming injuries.
Well, he's not. Well, just because you're saying, well, I think that a reason is not the same thing as an excuse, is what Jeff is trying to say.
Yes.
Well, and I kind of have to agree with Jeff there. I mean, that is one of the factors that attributed to Alabama losing the game.
Yes.
You know what impacted them more than the injuries? Here's what impacted them more than the injuries. A first-round quarterback, a first-round running back, a first-round offensive lineman, a second-round offensive lineman, and a first-round defensive lineman, and a first-round wide receiver, and the offensive coordinator, and the offensive line coach all left. all left,
Mhm.
okay, from the national championship team.
Mhm.
That impacted them more than anything else, and yet they still got to the Natty. And with
Mhm.
5 minutes left, we're in position to do something nobody had done since they themselves did it in 11 and 12, which is to go back to back.
Mhm.
I'm not complaining that I say Bama had a great season last year, and I'll say for the 10,000th time,
Mhm.
they lost. Alabama lost to the best team in the country. Georgia was better that night. They were better through most of the season. And had Alabama lost to anybody but Georgia, I would have been embarrassed and upset because that to my mind meant they would have lost to an inferior team.
And I let me say something real quick, and I'll digress. I've heard Jeff say that that same line like actually since the night of the national championship game. So he's not a fan that runs away. He's a stand-up man. So I'll give him that.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, what you do is if you're an Alabama fan, you say, you know what, we caught some bad breaks. Not having Mechie and Williams was a bad break.
That's
But
right.
that's not Georgia's fault. It's not Georgia's fault that they got
You're right.
hurt.
It's not
And
our fault.
Georgia still had to cash in. They had a chance. The door was open, and they
we
could have
took it.
choked, but they didn't. They
We
cashed it in. So you give Georgia credit. You say, congratulations, Kirby. Congratulations, Bulldogs. We'll see you next year.
That's right. Yeah, I was afraid that we were gonna choke again, but we didn't.
Well, in Nick Saban's words, y'all beat our ass in the fourth quarter.
And it's true. We did. It's true. We did.
That was a pretty. I mean, until late in the third, fourth quarter, that was a pretty boring game.
Yes, I know.
What you got? Ballard?
Until we scored.
To me, I've said this. I said it on the night of the game. I think the game was won by a double combination. By and I don't want to take anything away from Georgia's defense. A great defensive effort, and Alabama's own Christian Latu dropped a pass. Jacoby Brooks dropped a pass inside the 5-yard line, and Alabama, instead of going touchdown, goes field goal.
Yeah.
And instead of being 21-6, it's 9-6.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
If it's 21-6, we probably have a different outcome.
But at the same time, like you just said, Jeff, you got to get up to Georgia's defense for holding them.
Well, yeah, I just said that.
Well,
I just said that.
Like you just said,
those three drives to me were told the story of the game. When they weren't turned into touchdowns, that opened the door, and Georgia walked through it.
That's right.
Hang on a second.
I'll ask the whole chat right now.
All right.
Did y'all see Carson Beck play the G-Day game?
No.
Yeah, we did.
I
didn't. Me and Vic were there. Carson Beck looks like he can start anywhere. I'm talking about Alabama too.
Yeah.
Anywhere.
He's not beating out Bryce or Ty.
Well, I don't know about any.
No, I don't know about Bryce, but
well, I'm gonna throw a monkey wrench into this whole national title thing, and I'm actually gonna use something Uncle Lou said in his own logic. Georgia had no business being in that game.
Okay.
Alabama had
no business.
And I'm going to say this.
Are you going to say because of the SEC championship?
Slim, I'm going to assume, which is dangerous, that you're saying so because Lou doesn't believe a non-conference unless you win your conference, you should not make the playoffs. That's what you're saying.
Oh yeah, and that was something of his I completely agree with.
In which case, the loss in Atlanta would have eliminated Georgia because that's what's going to eliminate them. That's what's going to eliminate them this year.
Now,
Georgia
I also think
4 best teams.
I also think that should have eliminated Notre Dame, I don't think Alabama should have been in it in 17, and I don't think Ohio State should have been in it in 16.
Nope.
So it's not just a Georgia thing; it's consistent across the board.
Right. Yeah. You're saying if it requires a conference championship, it requires a conference championship. The end.
But it does not. So.
Right. But well, like Vic says, but it doesn't. That's not nowhere in the bylaws does it say you have to win your conference.
We have had,
and if you go to 8, that automatically is going to eliminate the have to be a conference champion because you're going to have to take some at-larges.
That's right.
Wait a minute. Ballard was trying to say something, but I think his mic
get in here. Come back, Ballard.
He put in the private chat, but all I will say is that Alabama was lucky to make the playoffs. It was all UGA. Credit them. It's 2022. Now, good day. I'm going live for a bit, RTR. So he was trying to get in and say that or something like that. And
sorry, Ballard.
I think his microphone was a bit on the delay side.
Now, with that statement, what I'm also saying is, and I'm looking specifically at Georgia and Notre Dame with this. You get blown out in the conference championship game, you really have no business being in the playoffs.
Okay, and what do you consider to be blown out, Slim?
What was the score of the SEC championship game?
It was 41-24.
Okay. 3 scores or more is a blowout.
Okay.
To me, and this has nothing to do with the outcome of Alabama versus Georgia. This would be if the SaleenDriver Saints played the Slim Shady Snakes and they won by 17. And here's why I say that. Here's why I say 17. Because an 8-point touchdown followed by the recovery of an onside kick and an 8-point touchdown means that you're 2 possessions away from forcing continued football when you're within 16. It's unlikely, but it's mathematically possible. At 17 points, you've got to have 3 scores somehow. So to me, when you start to use the word blowout, it has to start at 17. Now that said, you can dominate somebody. You can just completely control the action, hold them down, suffocate them, and beat them 16-6, and you've got a 10-point win, and you just absolutely were in control of the whole game, and you've got a dominating win. And I wouldn't argue that. Sometimes there are victories like that. I'm just saying if you're going to use the adjective blowout, there has to be some number associated with it. And to me, arbitrarily, that number is 17.
Yes.
Yeah. And I mean, you and me are pretty much right there. I mean, like I said, 3 scores.
Right.
A 3 possession game to me is
if Georgia, Bama got Georgia by 17, Georgia got Bama by 15. Okay. All right, whatever. If Georgia wins the Natty 27-13 and Alabama can't do shit. I mean, they snapped the ball like twice inside the 25, and it's just they're completely dominated. And it's actually 27-10, and an El Cheapo field goal makes it 13. Then I would say, okay, well, you don't have a 17-point win, you got a 14-point win, but you sure dominated the hell out of us. So, I'm not saying that you can't be dominant under 17 points. I'm just saying,
right.
It's silly. It's a silly argument, but I mean, if you're going to use the word blowout, everybody's got to agree. There has to be somewhere where you start to use that. Like we blew you out. We beat you 21-16.
Now, Mike Vick, you repeatedly said one of the best 4 teams. In my opinion, Georgia is not one of the best 4 teams.
Okay, then who was then? Then who should have been in?
Okay, last year, Slim, who would have been? If you would have had the magic wand, who was your best 4?
Who would have you had in instead of Georgia?
Well, let's see. Alabama would have been in there. Michigan obviously would have been in there.
Okay.
God, I'm trying to remember records of everybody now off the top of my head. Jesus.
Ohio State just had the 1 loss to Michigan.
They had losses. They also lost to Oregon.
Yeah, they had 2.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. I forgot. Yeah, you're right. I forgot the Oregon loss.
I'm trying to think of what was Utah's record.
They were 10-3. Yeah, they had 3 losses.
Okay.
Well, that's Pac-12, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
No, with the Big 12.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember 3 people's records from 3 years ago. I know. Well, perfect example. We were talking about that the other day. If Oklahoma State had won the Big 12 over Baylor, they were in over Cincinnati. Cincinnati would have got left out.
Yeah.
I don't think Cincinnati should have been in, period. I don't consider a group of 5 team, even an undefeated group of 5 team, on the same level as a Georgia or an Alabama or any, Power 5.
Okay, right, and then we had Baylor. They won the Big 12 with 2 losses.
Here, you're giving perfect examples. Put 2 lost teams in. Period.
And then we had Notre Dame was 11-1 with a loss to Cincinnati.
That's why I've always been a big fan of a 16 playoff. And let me explain real quick. Give me the floor for a minute. 6 teams. Each conference champion automatically gets in, regardless of record, regardless of rank. All 5 of the Power 5 champions get in. The
9 and 3 Stanford makes it then.
If they win the Pac-12, yes, they get an automatic bid because they won their conference.
Okay.
The 6th team is the highest ranked of the group of 5 teams. So we give the group of 5 a slop. The highest ranked group of 5 team gets in. Then you rank the teams based on record 1 through 6. 1 and 2 get byes. 3 plays 6, 4 plays 5. The winner of 3 and 6 plays the number 1 team. The winner of 4 or 5 plays the number 2 team.
Okay.
And then you've got your 2 teams in the finals. Okay. That's why I think a 16 playoff works for me, in my opinion. You give the conference titles mean something again. You eliminate this bullshit. Well, Georgia didn't win their conference or Alabama didn't win their conference in 17, but they're in the playoffs. And you eliminate all that because you basically said, if you don't win your conference, you're not in the playoffs. And all 5 get represented. So we get rid of the bullshit of, well, the Pac-12 didn't get represented. The Big 12 didn't get represented. The Big 10 didn't get represented. Every conference gets a rep. The Power 5 gets a rep because they'll be the highest ranked of the power of the group of 5. I'm sorry, the highest ranked of that gets one of the 6 spots, and then you rank them all based on record and you let them play.
Okay,
and we get an extra week of playoff football.
Let me put this baby to bed right quick because Mike Vick said it. A couple people in the chat said it. The 4 best teams line is what's come out of the mouths of the people on the playoff committee. But if you go into their guidelines, it does not say the 4 best teams.
Okay, what does it say?
So they're hang on. They're talking out of both sides of their neck.
Okay.
So I could really care. And you're also, once again, their opinion was, if you want to use the 4 best teams argument, all that's subjective. Their opinion, Georgia was. My opinion, the conference championship matters, and that disqualifies Georgia.
Well, the way it is now, the conference champion means a little less because several years of going, you have an example of a team that didn't win its conference gets into the top 4, gets the playoff.
That's right.
I think
gets frozen out, and I think.
But I also said I wasn't a fan of that either.
Yeah, I don't think that's the greatest solution here.
I know. See, I don't want to get off 4. I like 4, but if you're going to expand it, I would rather go to 8 than 6 because I don't like the bye.
Yeah, 8.
Give us the 5 conference champions, and then 3 at large. And I'll tell you what happens if you have 8 last year. if you'd had 8 last year, that would have put Oklahoma State in.
Mm-hmm.
It would have probably put Utah in or Ohio State, and it would have put Notre Dame in. And you know what would have happened? You know what would have happened? We would have got to Indianapolis, and you know who would have been playing? Georgia. Alabama and Georgia.
Yep.
Because they were the 2 best teams.
That's right.
Well, here's the thing, though. I don't think Oklahoma State should have got in either. I think losing your conference championship game has to matter.
Well, okay, all right. Well, then it's Baylor. Then it's Baylor, but it's not going to affect. It's going to be Georgia and Alabama. They were heads above everybody else. That's who was going to play.
I also wouldn't go with a playoff system. I've said this before. I would go back to the BCS system.
Of course, you want to go back to the BCS. Yeah.
I think the playoffs, from what I've seen of the playoff system, it's terrible.
My problem with the playoffs is, and it's because I'm an old curmudgeon and a grumpy old fart. I don't like the idea that all of a sudden winning the Sugar Bowl doesn't matter like it used to. That winning the Rose Bowl doesn't matter like it used to, unless it's one of the playoff bowls.
That's right.
I don't like the fact that it's and Saban warned about this when they went away from the BCS, that you're gonna. Whether it happens right away or not, it's going to eventually erode the value of the bowls. And I think that's happened. And I feel sorry for that, because you're talking about Georgia and Alabama are playing for the national championship, and that's great. That's 170 players that got to experience the national championship.
Mm-hmm.
And then are you telling me that those 170 players playing in Indianapolis were so much better that the 170 players in Pasadena, when Utah played Ohio State, that they were squadouche? I don't think that. I think there's still a tremendous value to the New Year's Six bowls. I think that's a major bowl against a major opponent. You should be proud as hell to be there. If Alabama had lost to Georgia in Atlanta and gone to New Orleans and won the Sugar Bowl and had finished 11-2 or 12-2 and not been in the Natty, would I have been upset? Yeah, because I wanted to play for the Natty. But I certainly would not have been embarrassed. I would say, oh my God, we won the Sugar Bowl. Hell, I remember when I was a student at Alabama, we were winning 8 and 9 games a year. And my 5 years in Tuscaloosa, we didn't come close to going to the Sugar Bowl. I would have turned my car upside down to go to the Sugar Bowl and win.
Well, and that's one of my reasons for saying the BCS was a better system, because of things that have sprung up from the playoff system. One of which, you just said is the other bowl games don't matter. You didn't have opt-outs because the other bowl games mattered.
Hey,
man, when I was Slim, when I was a student in Tuscaloosa, all the fans in the SEC, Georgia, Tennessee, LSU, Alabama, their goal was not to win the national championship, because that was going to be decided after all the bowl games were played. There was going to be a vote, and all they could do was win their bowl and then hope that their records stood up for themselves.
Yes.
Their goal was to win the conference and win the Sugar Bowl. That's what their season was about. And anything that happened past that was a cherry.
Guys, hey, Slim, hang on. I hate to do this to you, but I got the call. I got to go. I got to shut this down. I got to go to the folks' house. And it's late enough in the day that I'm just going to stay there, because it gets into the evening time frame.
Well, here's hoping. Here's hoping good things are.
No, good things are happening, J-Dub, and I appreciate that. But it's still, this is a time of day where my father's strength begins to fade, and he needs me there more than during the earlier part of the day. Hey, but I got 2 hours plus in before the call. So,
yes, you did. Your father matters a lot more than listening to some blowhard from Iowa yap.
Yeah.
Man, I enjoy hearing the blowhard from Iowa. I enjoy hearing the trucker. I enjoy hearing one of the most valuable slobs. I enjoy hearing from Colby. I enjoy watching the chat. I'm so glad I got to do this again, because I hadn't done one of these in 2 months, and I felt like, I like the fact that everyone knows me, and I was beginning to think people forgot about me. So I'm glad that
No, I
we had
can
a-
guarantee you right
I had
now,
a- I
no
had a-
one has forgot about you.
I had a 12:08 first pitch today. Today and tomorrow, the I-Cubs are playing the Storm Chasers of Omaha, Nate's team. That's the Royals' AAA team, and we won in the bottom of the ninth with a walk-off base hit and a play at the plate. And on my way home, I'm stopped at a red light, and I pick up my phone, and I see, oh my God, Saleen, he's actually going live today. So
yeah, I got
Shabbat
the
shalom.
reason,
Shabbat
the
shalom,
reason I
Saleen.
left the reason I left 10 minutes ago, 15 minutes ago, is because I got pulled over. Actually, my license plate apparently fell off, so I was driving without a tag. So
damn.
And you know what the funny
Anyway,
thing
I'm
is?
gonna
I had my window rolled down. I had my window rolled down, registration ready, license ready, and then he has to look for my he has to look inside the car, and he opened my driver's door without me. And I was like, whoa.
That's
Back up, buddy.
the Constitution.
That's going to have to be a VicTube. That's going to have to be a Luanon video right there.
And that's what I'm pretty sure I know my rights, but he can't just open my door, can he?
That's
You're
right.
not supposed to.
Reasonable search and seizure. That's right.
Let me ask the Southerners that are in here. When in the late 80s, when the late 80s, when I lived in Alabama, I had my Cougar. It was my car at school, and I had, of course, down south they call them tags. We always called them plates.
I gotta go.
Okay, you had the front and the back, but the people who lived in Alabama were not required to have a front tag. Is that still the case? You don't have to have one on the front.
Stay in here.
No, I gotta shut down for real because I'm not coming back until like 9.
All right.
Can you leave the back room open? Can you leave the back room open, Slim? Or Sling?
No, I can't do that because that steps on boss babes, and I don't want to do that. Look,
what he's talking about is we'll continue our conversation. You can let yourself out. That's what he's talking about.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean like an offline Ubu?
That's right.
Yeah.
All right, I'll do that. I'll leave. I'll shut the stream down, and then I'll leave. So, guys, I appreciate y'all being here, but I am going to shut the stream down. I'm gonna go do what I gotta do for my folks, but I will try and do this again next Wednesday. But I love all you guys, and I appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
Best to your father, Saleen.
Yes, sir.
I will see you all later.